straight gold. You know, I just turned on, I'm feeling hella proper. I be making moves, just got a couple dollars. Went through some crazy issues, turned up a couple pops.
Man, I was in South Carolina, you hear me? Spartanburg, South Carolina. And I was with my crip partner Slug, with my blood partner Buddha, his little brother Red, TJ, Deja Vu, yeah, that was it. It was us, you hear me? It was all us. And we were trying to get some money, you hear me, to go to the mall. Cause TJ mama, we were by TJ house, and TJ mama let us see the car. She had that box Chevy, you hear me? It was like a Caprice, I think it was, you hear me? But it was that box Chevy, you hear me? And she was letting us see the car, you know, let me drive, cause I was like the oldest, you hear me? And you know, I guess she, you know, she like a nigga, you hear me? That's let it know, you hear me? That's what they call me. And so we was trying to get some money. And see, this nigga TJ Mama and his auntie son, I ain't lying, it was on some G shit, you hear me? And so I told her we were gonna rob somebody, you hear me? We were gonna go hit a lick. And they were like, well shit then, no. You really won't do that now, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm really with that shit, you hear me? And so his auntie like, well shit, I'm hungry. So I'm like, shit, what y'all want? And they want Chinese. So shit, my mind went to clicking, you hear me? So I'm like, y'all got a Chinese people that deliver or whatever? So she like, yeah, or whatever. So they look in the phone book, you hear me? And we look up for the delivery for Chinese. Now that fucked me up, cause you know, in the city, especially back then, ain't no fucking Chinese delivery people, you hear me? That shit was dead. The piece of people hardly wanted to deliver, you hear me? So we asked them what they want. We ordered sweet sour chicken, shrimp with lobster sauce, chochos, combination rices. Everybody got whatever they wanted, you hear me? I'm talking about we done order about $60 to $70 worth of food, you dig? So boom, we go to this house. It's like it's supposed to be an abandoned house, you hear me? Right down, it's like kind of down the street, down the road, cause you know that shit different out there, you hear me? And so, fat white boy come, like, you hear me? Probably was in his like late 30s, early 40s, you hear me? Come out there, that boy got on glasses, he kind of fat, you hear me? And that boy pull up. We all standing right there, like, you know, like we just rapping or we just talking, like in the little huddle or whatever. So that boy pull up. And so that boy get out that bitch. You know how white people is. Our friend, like, hi guys. Yeah, okay. So y'all ordered, running our order down. You hear me? And so all them standing around and they just looking like, damn, what you gonna do? You know, what you gonna do? So I'm looking like ain't nobody gonna make a move. So I was like, all right. I see I gotta be the one to make the move. You hear me? Since I'm like y'all big dog. You hear me? So I had y'all know the part of the crutch where you got the crutches, and at the bottom of the crutch where you could change the you could push that button in and you could change the height of the crutch. Like if you push the button, you could take it all the way out. I had that. You heard me? That boy Buddha, he had a little miniature Louisville Slugger. You heard me? And so everybody, like I said, they looking at me. Like, you gonna make a move, you hear me? So fuck, when I see everybody waiting on me, man, I just hit that boy. Pop! I'm talking about, really, that bitch went clook, you hear me? And that boy dropped to his knees instantly. He put his hands over his head like he interlocked his fingers. And that boy went to screaming, ah! So I hit that boy again, clook! That boy, oh, please, stop it, please. Hit him again, shut up, pop! Hit that boy again, you hear me? That boy like, please, stop it. And so by that time, I know it sounds like this shit going slow, but it's really going fast, you hear me? So after the third time I hit him, like I could like, you know, nigga looking at all this shit, you hear me? And so like, them boys, like, they look at each other like, damn, like he really did it, you hear me? So that boy Booty, he step up next, like, fuck it, I'm gonna what he say, I'm gonna clean his ass. That shit be funny as fuck when he say that. But he like, man, I'm about to clean his ass, you hear me? So that boy hit him with the Louisville Slugger. Boop, that boy hit that boy, boop, boop, boop. And so they whooping at it. Everybody just go to hitting that boy, kicking that boy, punching that boy, you hear me? That boy hitting him with the slug. He's like, oh, please, please, help, somebody help, you hear me? So like, across the little, they got a little field, you hear me? And across that, it's like, I would guess that's the bathroom window, cause it's like a little window, and it's like that window where it's, you know, it's like it's blurry, you know what I'm saying? If y'all know what I'm talking about. Like one of them windows would be like by a doctor's office reception window. When they close it, you can't really see back there, but you can see people back there like that. So I see the light come on. So when I see that light come on, I'm like, shit, we gotta go. You hear me? So them boys, I don't know if that was their first time ever robbing somebody like that or whooping the fuck out somebody like that or what. But they was fascinated with that shit. So they was fucking them up, you hear me? So I don't get no excitement out fucking nobody up, you hear me? I'm doing this solely to get the money and get the food, do the mission, you hear me? It's a mission, we on a lick, you hear me? So fuck, I'm like, that boy had a little blue money pouch, you hear me? You know, I like Whitney Bank and shit, they got that blue pouch. He had that bitch filled with money. I opened that bitch, I looked, got the money, put that bitch in the jacket, you hear me? I grabbed the food, I'm like, come on y'all, we gotta go. Man, them boys just steady whooping that boy, you hear me? So fuck shit, I jet out. I'm gone. I'm halfway down the block, you hear me? And I can still hear them boy whooping that boy. That's when I start hearing footsteps running. I can hear them motherfucker running behind me, so they running. I'm like I said, I'm halfway down the fucking block. I'm gone. So I get in the house, you hear me? And that's when that boy TJ mama like, God damn, what's going on? What you did and all whatever. I'm like, she like, where they at? I'm like, man, I don't know. Them dudes there. Then bloom, they hit the door, you hear me? They all out of breath, they laughing and shit, you hear me? So that's when they close the door, they lock it. They go to looking out the windows and shit like that, you hear me? And so, you know, she like, what's going on? What y'all did and all that? And that's when that boy, Red, you know, he a little young nigga, so he bucked up. He like, man, that nigga, you know, man, he hit that boy, pop. And then that's when Booty hit that boy. We went to fucking him up. Yeah. He ain't say you heard me, but you know, he talking this shit. I can't help but say you heard me. But I'm talking about they ecstatic about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ecstatic. Like, it really made me feel like that was their first time ever doing something like that. You dig? And a lot of time when I think about that story, son, I be thinking like, man, I unlocked something in them dudes, bro. Like, I made them dudes become bad, son. Because that was the first time I done some shit with them, but it wasn't the last, you hear me? And they wanted to do shit now, you dig? It was like, before I came, they probably always used to talk gangster shit and talk about doing shit. But when I came, it was like, I put action to them words, you hear me? I put something real with them words, you dig? And so they was like, they really looked at me like they big dog after that. Like, they really follow my lead. Like, they knew if I say something, then that's law. That's what it is, you hear me? They knew I wasn't just talking. And this nigga Johnny, he was like their big dog. I could see that. He was like their big dog before that, you hear me? But I guess Johnny never really, he just talked good shit. You hear me? He was a nigga from out Buffalo, New York. You hear me? But they had moved to Spartanburg. And so it was a lot of jealousy between me and that nigga. But I don't even want to get in there because I'm getting off the story at hand, you hear me? So anyway, man, nigga whooped that white boy like that, you hear me? Got the money. So like, boom, we eating the food and shit like that. So I don't tell the mama and them that we got this big thing of money, you hear me? And shit, I ain't gonna lie, I had to, you know, stash a few bucks, you hear me? God forgive me, because I really did, son. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, I had to do it. Fuck, because I was the one, so I had to do it, you hear me? So yeah, I put a few bucks to the side, about a couple hundred, right fast, you hear me? And I don't know what, like, dog, I swear, them people, that's how you can tell, them people, crime had to be low. because what possessed this dude to bring all that money with him, son? This nigga had over $1,000-something, you hear me? So when we finish eating this shit, we go up to the room, we go in TJ room, you hear me? And so they like, man, you ain't got the money, you know, you got the money. I'm like, what? Did I get the money? I pull out the blue pouch, you hear me? I open that bitch, and it looked like so much because they had a lot of ones and shit, you know, 10s, 20s. It's like it was the money that he was getting from customers or something like that. I guess he never brought it back. I don't know. Like, I don't know what it was, but I bet they changed that policy after that. Oh, I bet they changed that policy because that was a big loss for them right fast, you hear me? So, yeah, nigga went to splitting up the money, you hear me? So, I'm like, like I said, I had already tucked me a couple hundred. So, it was probably about, I know we had split $700 between us, between me, Buddha, Deja Vu, Red, and TJ and Slug. You know? So it was 6 of us, and we split up this other $700. Like I said, I had the other couple $100 that I already put up, so it had to be almost about I want to say about $1,600. You hear me? So the next day, I give his mama probably about $50, $70, something like that, you hear me? So she, all right, and all that. And I bought his auntie some weed and shit like that. She was a big, heavy weed smoker, you hear me? And so, boom, they let me see the car. I was talking about the little box Chevy, you hear me? So, shit, we riding all around town. We get to Greenville Mall. Nigga ball out a little bit in there. We come back, and his auntie had her boyfriend, his nigga Taz, you hear me? Rest in peace, that nigga Taz. He was from North Carolina. He was a blood too, you hear me? He was from North Carolina though, you hear me? So he come down there, and dude was a real nigga, you hear me? Dude was a real nigga. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you about the situation that we did. Me, Taz, Buddha. TJ ain't wanna come on. I forgot what the fuck with TJ, you hear me? But he ain't wanna come. But me, the nigga Taz, Buddha, Slug, and Red, we had went and we had robbed his other nigga. But I'm gonna tell y'all about that. You hear me? But I'm out for now. You hear me? I'm out for now. I just had to take it. I was just thinking about this shit when I come from the store. I saw this white boy, and that nigga reminded me of that boy. Boy, I was looking at that boy like, boy, you just don't know what I'll do you fucking ass. I don't know why I thought that shit, son. Sometimes I just get in these moods, son, where I just be thinking of the most evil shit. And I was looking at that boy, and I was just like, dog, you just don't know what I'll do you. You hear me? And it made me think about that shit, son. Like, I really fucked that dude up, son. Like, I always wondered what happened after that. That nigga probably could have slipped in a coma, anything, you hear me? But we didn't get caught, you hear me? Like, we did not get caught, you hear me? But nigga beat the fuck out of me. Like I said, I know I had fucked him up with just a little 3 hits. I hit him, cause when I hit that boy, I hit him clean center in his head with that bitch. I'm talking about that bitch. That boy, I'm talking about instantly dropped to his knees. Oh, please. You hear me? Boop, bitch. Shut up. You hear me? Talking about I probably broke all that boy's fingers, all kind of shit. And then that boy Buddha come back right behind me with the little mini Louisville slugger. And he would have wearing that boy out, and he punching and kicking. So we fucked that man up, you hear me? Like, for real, dog. Nigga fucked that dude up, bro. And, in this day and time, as a grown man with a family and shit, I can say, man, I'm sorry, you hear me? Because that dude probably had a family and everything, and that dude had to, his family or whatever loved ones had to see him fucked up like that, you hear me? So I'm sorry for that, you did. If you ever see this video, I'm sorry for that. I don't think you press charges on me because, as I was told by my legal, from legal advice, that you can't press no charges on me because the statute of limitations is over for that. You heard me? But but we did that, and But like I said, I'm gonna come and I'm gonna tell y'all about what that nigga Taz talk. Man, that nigga Taz, son. See, that nigga Taz, son. If y'all thought what I did was something, Man, what this nigga Taz did, man, I don't know how white people treat black people in North Carolina, but that nigga, like, he must have had something built up. You hear me? Cause man, flashing out. If flashing out was in the dictionary, his picture would be right next to it. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell y'all about that dude, man. I'm out. You hear me? Culture.